Hello, everybody. Are we so excited to talk about branding? I'm going to start off with something fun. So if anybody read my blog last Monday, and I talked about the progression of my hair, I was like, what a fun way to kill the beginning of the live. If anyone can guess what day I'm on with my hair washing schedule, day 1, 2, or 3, I'll send you something fun. How about a $5 gift card to Starbucks? How about that? So take a guess. Am I on day 1, day 2, or day 3? So we are going to be talking about all things branding today. I wanted to share with you some thoughts that my Facebook group has about branding. I have 2 different Facebook groups going on right now. One of them is slightly more advanced than the other one, and we are I try to talk to them a lot about what they need and what their pain points are, and branding is definitely one of them. Some of the quotes that they had to say about branding is such a struggle. I hate branding. All of it. Every part of branding they hate. Branding is painful, and when is the right time to rebrand? So I hope that my little chat with you today about branding is going to put you at ease and make it feel like it's not such a scary thing, because it's really not. And the reason for that is I have a very different approach to branding, and my approach is that I basically never made it a thing. It was never a thing for me. I just never overthought it, but I also never did not take it very seriously. So I want to start by telling you a little story, or my journey when it comes to my brand. So before I was a business, I opened my doors technically in 2013. So you got to think like 6 months of 2012, I was sort of, taking pictures, and I got to that point where I was like, I know I need to put a watermark on here, but it doesn't really feel right. I don't know what to do. Like, I had a background in art. So I just did a fun version of my signature, and I threw it into Photoshop, and I made that, I guess you could call a logo, for my first 6 months or so. So all my images had just E Sharp. E Henson. I was married. Sorry, Mark, I don't remember. I was married. E Henson at the bottom. And it was just this little handwritten signature version. And I just moved on. I didn't overthink it. I didn't, it wasn't a brand by any means. I'm going to get to why that wasn't a brand later. And then when I really became a business, when I started to have contracts and stuff like that, I designed my own logo. It was very Bobo-licious. It was not so great, but I used that probably my first year. Yeah, my first year in business. And the colors are still the same. So it was still green and yellow, and it was just a very DIY logo. But I was still booking clients. It in no way held me back that I did not have an official brand my first year in business. And then now I'm in my 5th year of business, and I've been through only 2 logos. I'm not counting the handwritten one, because that was before I was technically a business. So I had my little homemade one, and then I had a logo made in 2015, beginning of 2015, or fall of 2014. I'm not even remembering right now. I should have done that research for you. But I have the same logo as I had then. So I think having a consistent look is so, so important. And I've always had the same colors. My website has only changed 3 times. And I hit this crossroads where I had to decide if I wanted to put my money in, I knew I wanted 2 things. I knew I wanted a new website, because this was back when I had Zenfolio. This was definitely 2014. Yes, I had Zenfolio. I knew I needed, an upgraded website, and I knew I had a little bit of a budget. So I wanted to choose between the promo video or the website. Some of you guys have probably read about this that have been following me for a really long time. So I pulled some of my friends that were not in the wedding industry, because that's another thing that really makes it difficult for us in the wedding industry, is that everything has to be pretty. Like, there's so much more pressure on us to have this amazing, perfect website than there is on a lot of people in different industries. So I took some of my friends aside, some of my girlfriends that had just been married or were engaged, or, they're all in that age range. And I made them look at my website. It was in folio at the time, literally just the tabs at the top and a slideshow. That is all that it was. And, they clicked on it with the About Me and all that stuff. They looked at my website, and then I showed them some people that I really considered, the cream of the crop, the most successful photographers in the area or that I knew of. And I said, look at my website and look at their website, and tell me, is this something that I should spend thousands of dollars on? And they were like, no. They really, they said, I cannot tell the difference. I'm looking at the pictures and I'm reading the text. They really could not tell the difference in such a major way between my, website and then somebody else's. And so I told them a little bit about the video and why I wanted to do the video, because I was, I was on somebody's referral list, like a vendor list. So I knew that I was going to be getting more traffic to my website. So I knew I needed those two things, a website and a promo video. And finally, I said, a video is going to give me instant connection with my ideal client. Websites are a dime a dozen. They're very, very expensive to have them professionally done. So is the video. But I just felt like having that connection with my clients was way more important to me than having the top of the line website. And for me and my backwards look at branding, that's kind of where it all began, because I was putting my connection with my clients at the forefront of my business instead of the other way around. My phone just said battery low, so I got to make sure I keep it moving. So those of you that just joined, I just was telling a little bit of the story about how branding was never really a thing for me. I never really overthought it, and I never really made a big deal of it. And I think that that's one of the reasons why it worked. Because if you think about, all your friends and their brands, think about your most successful entrepreneur that you can think of, okay? And then take away their branding colors, put them in different colors. Their brand is still the same. They're still the same person. Hey, Angie. So while, I may not know what the majority of my friends' logos and websites look like, I know their work when I see it in my newsfeed. That is a brand, okay? So think about brands that you love, that you really follow and that you really pay attention to, and then pull out their logo. You would still know that that's them. Basically on their work and the way that they treat people and the way that they talk to people. I mean, I know some photographers that I follow, they don't even have to post a picture. I know who they are because of the way that they're interacting with people. And that is what a brand really is. So if you love Nike so much and you put them next to another shoe that's not Nike and you take the Nike logo off, I guarantee you're still going to know that that's Nike. So don't overthink your logos. And I think when people rebrand too often, it becomes confusing to your client, and it's just not really necessary. And there's this misconception that you need to rebrand to book business, but really you need to business in order to brand, because you really need to know your business, you need to know your ideal client, and then the branding kind of comes naturally. So a lot of my friends have paid a lot of money for mentoring and education, and they come back and they say, I have the answer. I need a new website. I need to rebrand. And then they're so disappointed when they spend all that money and they're still not booking, because they're focusing on their branding and they're not focusing on their businessing. So I think because in a very, very early stage, I invested in the video so that my clients could get to know me. I was putting what was most important to my brand in the front, which is, the way I interact with my clients and the way that I want them to get to know me. So it doesn't matter what colors you have. It doesn't matter what website you have. What matters is what you're putting out there as far as your experience and the way that you talk to people and the way that you treat people. And that's what I've been talking about. This whole Joy course thing is how to really focus on your client. So anyway, moving on. One of the other questions was when to rebrand. And I am very opposite at this. So if somebody mentors with me, we're probably not even going to talk about branding, because I think you should rebrand when business is actually good, okay? Because if something is going right, you need to capitalize on all those things that you're doing right. Those people that you're bringing in that you love, what are you doing to bring them in? Do more of that. and capitalize on that positive energy. And that's when you can do a little bit of a facelift, or call it like the next level, not a rebrand. A rebrand makes it sound like what you're doing isn't working, and it probably isn't, but that's not where you need to put your energy. So like I said, it means you really need to grow your audience and not so much your business. Rebranding can confuse people. I know people that have rebranded every single year. And I don't just mean like updating their logo. I mean like a full-on rebrand. And it confuses people to the point where we may not, recognize their work anymore. So you have to focus on your business and what it really represents. And then the branding part is going to come easy. I just picked yellow and green in the beginning because I liked yellow and green. But now that I know my client, I'm like, that is amazing to me that it worked out, because yellow and green are organic and they're natural and they're earth tones. They're not, made colors, and they're soft. They may not be the most common wedding colors, but that's not keeping me back from booking weddings. And it really works for my brand. And I think that sometimes you just have to stay true to what's simple, because sometimes what is simple to you means that it's natural and means that it's, kind of the way that it's supposed to be, for lack of a better way to put it. So basically, in a nutshell, I'm saying don't sweat it so much. Just because there's all this verbiage out there about branding and how branding can take your business to the next level, don't sweat it. Okay, it's not that big of a thing. You can have a successful business. You can make 6 figures and not have the most perfect, polished, shiny brand. What you need is consistency. You need a consistent experience. You need consistent work. And that's another thing. In the beginning, we don't know what we're doing. I mean, my photographs were not consistent. One edit might have had blue tones and one edit might have had warm tones. I didn't know. So it's way more important to figure that stuff out and to get all of that stuff straightened out before you spend the big bucks on your brand. Because what you're doing is your brand. Even if you are not service-based and you're product-based, you really want to get those products and the experience that people have using those products consistent. Having a shiny website is not going to make that consistent for people. And the clients and the customers, they really don't care. They just want it simple. They want to be able to read what they need to read and find the information that they need to find. So make sure that your brand develops with your business and not the other way around. So your business doesn't grow because of your brand. Your brand grows because of your business. And that's huge. I just stayed up last night thinking about that. I was like, man, I don't know how I got it right sometimes. I really don't, but I think just some of those really big decisions that I made early in my career are so huge. And my photography on my promo video is not necessarily current, but the experiences, the way I smile behind the camera, the way I love my people, that's all the same. So it doesn't even matter, that the photographs on there are old and the greens look different than they do now. It doesn't matter. The clients aren't looking at that part. So anyway, focus on the things that you can make consistent, okay? More than the things that we can't make consistent, all right? We cannot speed up our growth. We can't speed up how fast we become better photographers or better at whatever it is that we do. But we can control the experiences our client have and the way that we make it right when we mess up, the way that we learn from our mistakes. So focusing on the things that you can control and making that an overall consistent experience is going to make a consistent brand for you. And really figure out what it is that your ideal clients love, what you love giving them, and what feels right for you. There's so much noise on social media right now, and Angie and I have already been predicting all of the newsletters that are going to be coming out in this next year, and you have to really think about what feels right. Does this really feel right for my business and my brand, or am I doing it because the person next to me is doing it and she's successful? Okay, so really dig deep, and I've had to do a lot of this with, launching a course and all of these things. I'm figuring out that the sales funnels and the email marketing doesn't really feel right to me. I mean, yes, we have to get our information out via email, but what really feels right for your brand? And I know that for me, fostering groups and fostering communities feels more right for my business model. So keeping things consistent, figuring out what your ideal clients love, doing more of that, and incorporating that into your brand as you grow. So your brand develops with your business. Your business doesn't develop because of your brand. So that is my nutshell about branding. I'm so glad that you guys joined in. Once again, a small group. I know my timing is not always great. A really quick recap is I just kind of told my basic story about branding and how I never really made it a thing. I never invested my big dollars into branding, and I'm not saying don't do that. I have a graphic design background, so I did not have to. Some of you are really going to have to invest in your branding, and I did. I paid a designer to do my entire Creatives Live Happy website. And then Angie and I went to that amazing workshop in California to do my photography website. So I have invested, but I'm just saying in the beginning, that is not where all my big bucks went. And there's plenty of people out there that can help you if you're branding on a budget. I've only been through 2 logos, and I'm going in my 5th year of business. 3 website changes. I never made a big deal about them. I never announced it to the entire world that I was rebranding. I just kind of did it. Hey, my website got a facelift. You know, it's a little bit more advanced, a little bit more professional, but it did not change my brand by any means. And just, be careful using that word rebrand. Say I'm taking my business to the next level. Put a positive spin on it rather than you're redoing something. And then think about your friends and their brands and who you find to be really recognizable, and change their colors and see if you can still identify what makes them them. We all love Amanda Hedgebeth, okay? Sometimes I don't even know what her colors are. I know she loves yellow. I know she loves pink. But put that girl in purple, she's still going to be Amanda Hedgebeth, and she's still going to be the sweet, happy, person that she is. So that's my point, is that the brand it's the non-tangible. It's your personality, it's your client experience, and it's your ideal clients that come to you. So in conclusion, just remember that your brand grows with your business, not your business because of your brand. And then I did want to kind of let you know how you can connect with me. I'll put my links in the comments, but I am launching my first course. If you enjoyed any of these mini courses, it's 6 weeks. We're going to be covering a different topic every week. It's called the Joy Course. So you can go to elizabethhensonphotos.com/the Joy Course if you want to check it out. And you'll see 6 topics, and we're going to do 1 topic per week for 6 weeks, and then there's going to be lots of bonus content, but really it just focuses on how putting joy at the forefront of your business will bring you success, and that it's not always about some kind of correct formula, that you really have to put the way that you treat people and the way that you talk to people, and I don't know, putting your personality out there to make your business more successful. And the course is going to be awesome. It's really affordable because it's my first one. It costs about the same as a 2-hour coffee mentoring session with me, so you should really jump on it. My vision is that it's a mixed bag of creatives, but if I do get a heavy photography enrollment, I'm going to break that up into 2 groups and have a photographer group and a creative group. But we got to see how many people enroll first. But there is definitely a special on that right now. It's $50 off. But my biggest thing when you guys invest in education is just be sure that it is somebody that you really trust and you really believe in. And it's totally fine if I'm not that person or if I am that person. But there's so much online stuff happening right now, so much noise, that just be sure that it really feels right and you really trust them. And I am doing a complete money-back guarantee if you hate it, because if you hate it, I'm going to feel bad and I don't want your money. So anyway, elizabethhensonphotos.com/the Joy Course. I will post it in the comments as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed this chat about branding. I hope it made you feel a little bit more comfortable and less afraid of the whole idea of branding. So, don't spend your time stressing about it. Your brand has 0 to do with your success and 0 to do with how much money you make. It is important. It is important, but it should come naturally. It shouldn't be a fight. So thank you guys very much for joining in. I got a visitor coming in just a few minutes, so I will chat with you guys later. Thanks.